This is a new series that I'm starting on my channel called Book Review, in which I'm going to review the different types of books that I've read, the key takeaways that I got from them, and books that I think will have an impact on your life. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Edward White. I make videos around building brands, creativity and productivity. As I'm on a similar journey to you, it means so much to me if you can consider subscribing to this channel and giving this video a thumbs up. On to the book that will be the first in the book review. This book has been recommended a lot and has been on my wanting to read list for quite a while. The book is called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. I'm so glad that I got to finally read this book and really get into it. Matthew is a professor of neuroscience and psychology at the University of California. He is also the founder of the Center for Human Sleep Science. The book was written in 2017 and has been recommended by the likes of Tim Ferriss and Bill Gates. Bill Gates is notoriously known for having all-nighters when in the early stages of building Microsoft, and he says that he now has the knowledge and the understanding that this wasn't that good and wasn't something that he would recommend. The book explains how neglecting your sleep undercuts your creativity, problem solving, decision making, learning, memory, heart health, brain health, mental health, emotional well-being, immune system, and even your lifespan. The decimation of sleep throughout the industrialized nation is having a catastrophic impact. In the book, Matthew breaks down the different stages of sleep and how the cycles essentially have a push and pull battle for brain domination, which actually happens roughly 90 minutes. This graph is called a hypnogram, which is basically a sleep graph. On the graph, you can see that we have an average of 5 cycles of sleep and then 5 stages of sleep. Wake, REM, brackets, rapid eye movement. NREM, stage 1, brackets, non-rapid eye movement. NREM stage 2, NREM stage 3 and 4. As you can see from the graph, the ratios of NREM sleep to REM sleep ratio varies dramatically throughout the night, starting with the NREM sleep consuming the earlier stages of the night and then the REM sleep consuming the later stages of the night. The reason for this is because they perform different functions and have different uses for our brain, but it isn't really known why they happen in this order. What are the uses of NREM versus REM? As I said earlier, we sleep in different stages and they both have cognitive functions. So let's break it down. The wake stage, which is hopefully the stage you're at now if you're watching this video and I'm not sending you to sleep, then NREM is broken down into 4 stages. Stage 1, let's call it M1 for simplicity, is the stage that you're just falling asleep. It is at this stage that you might experience the jolt waking up feeling that are known as sleep starts, and sometimes it wakes the sleeper. I get these quite a lot, and I think I've started to notice these as after reading this book, is that if you just fall asleep and and I remember my ex did it quite a lot and it would always wake me up, which would be really annoying. But yeah. The N1 stage typically lasts for around 5 minutes. On to the N2 stage. It's at this stage that the muscles relax further, eye movement stops and the heart tends to slow down, and brain waves become slower. Adults spend around 55% of their total sleep time in the N2 stage. N3, which is also known as a slow wave or deep sleep, is the stage of sleep that is most needed for people to feel more refreshed and energized the next day. Typically lasting 20 to 40 minutes, N3 sleep is when the brain becomes less responsive to external stimuli, and as a result, it is most difficult to wake a person up from this stage. If you wake someone up at this stage, they will become extremely groggy and irritable. I remember being woken up by Bella when she went for a bedwetting stage, and yeah, if you get woken up at that time, you know that you feel horrible, and I don't know. Before reading this book, I didn't realize that I was in different stages, and I think probably helped me become more aware of it and become more understanding of the different stages that I'm at. Slow wave N3 sleep occurs for longer in babies and children, which is why it is really important that younger children go to sleep earlier. REM sleep. A person will first enter REM sleep after 90 minutes of being asleep and going through the first initial stages. The first initial REM cycle will last about 10 minutes and then each progressively getting longer. The key characteristics of REM sleep the rapid eye movements, as for the name, where the eyes move from side to side with the eyelids closed. It is in REM sleep that dreams will occur and our muscles will relax to an almost immobile state, which is to prevent us from acting out our dreams, which could end up getting messy. So thank you, evolution. REM sleep is when the brain actually processes the information that it received from the following day, so that it can be stored as long-term information, like clicking that save button on that really important Word document. Is sleep really important? In our society, it's seen as being cool to sort of postpone sleep and put it off and do the hustle, that sort of late night, keep working culture. Yeah, I think the conversation around it needs to change, and I think there needs to be more people advocating for sleep. In the book, Matthew gives lots of examples of sleep deprivation and how it can cause the brain to lose functions and affect our everyday lives. In one study that stood out to me, they tracked the sleep of supervisors across several weeks and compared it to the leadership performance as judged by the employees that report to them. The lower the quality of sleep that the supervisor reported getting accurately predicted poor self-control and a more abusive nature towards the employees, which was reported by the employees themselves. In an interesting twist, a few days later when the employees were questioned, even though being well rested themselves, they actually marked job satisfaction and became less engaged in their job as a consequence of the supervisor not having enough sleep. This just shows the importance of having well-rested employees for the whole sort of culture of a company. How can you get a good night's sleep? There are some really simple things that you can start doing to get a good night's sleep and build an effective sleep schedule. Firstly, build a schedule. If you're anything like me, you like having routines and structure in your life. I do it for sort of my morning routine, my learning routine. Different areas I have a routine, but like one area that was being deprived was my sleep routine. I didn't have one. It was kind of sort of when I felt tired or when I felt like I had done enough work. And then you never end up going to sleep on a certain time, and you never have that sort of set routine in place. You will need to build this into your routine in a way that it fits into your schedule, because everyone's different, everyone has different sleep cycles, everyone has their body's different to how they view sleep and how they find sleep. So to set a sleep routine, I would say set a time that you want to be in bed, set a time that you want to wake up, and then set a time that you're going to switch off from all devices and screens because they emit a blue light, which I'll go into in a little bit. Avoid these before bed. Caffeine is a pretty obvious one, but it actually takes caffeine 6 hours to reach its half-life, which is where 50% of the caffeine will still be in your body. Alcohol. It's a misconception that alcohol helps you sleep, when it's actually impacting the quality of the different stages of your sleep. And then also food before bed. A big meal can cause you indigestion and cause you to just stay awake for longer than you actually need to be. Relaxing before bed. I quite like this. It kind of helps you to shut off the day and just be done with it. Sometimes you have one of those days where you just feel like really stressed and really pent up, and I don't know, just relaxing before bed helps you to go, actually, it doesn't really matter. Like that stress that I was feeling doesn't really matter. You can do this by music. I love music. I love listening to music. I've always got it on. And also meditation is a really good thing to do. My meditation routine normally happens in the morning, but I might try and like implement one into the nighttime routine just to see if it does have an impact. And yeah, who knows? I will let you know. I will feed back. Lighting and temperature. Lighting, especially the blue LED lighting that are typically found in phones and computer screens, they trick our brains into thinking that we are getting daylight. And our monkey minds just don't know how to handle this. So in the evening, like in the morning, absolutely fine. Stick these lights on, whack them on, get outside, get into sunlight, and get that normal light exposure that is required for good night's sleep and good, just to tell your body that it's time to be awake now. But then like in the evening hours, try and tone it down, try and get warmer lights for certain sections of your house. I've got good lights in the sense that I can change the warmness and the coolness of them, so that's quite beneficial. And then yeah, just try and be conscious about how you're using your screens and how you're being exposed to light within the evening. Because like you see so many people, if you walk around, like they've got blaring lights on, TVs on, and they're just consuming all of this straight before they go to bed, and it's not going to do anything for their brain or that sort of inset of sleep. Temperature is another one that I didn't actually realize, but like your internal body temperature actually starts to turn down as you develop, as it progresses later into the night, and you get sort of late as you progress into the night and it gets later, your body temperature turns down. But like as humans, we like to be comfortable, so we end up turning the heating on or wearing like loads of clothes, and it doesn't do anything for our body. So if we can actually be comfortable with getting a little bit cooler before we get into bed, I think this will help. And I think this is one area that I've really found has helped me, is cooling off before bed, because I used to turn on my heated blanket straight before bed, and yeah, it's really nice to get into, but then you just I found that I wasn't falling asleep as fast enough, so I turned it down a little bit. So it's not as cold, but it's still not like boiling hot. This book put me to sleep in a really good way, and yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you could consider subscribing to my channel, that would mean so much. I hope you find value and I hope you find use in this. And I highly recommend that you go out and get this book. It will put you to sleep in a good way. It might make you feel a little bit conscious about what you're doing, which is always a good thing. And yeah, you'll hopefully improve your life in some way. Thank you so much for watching. Keep improving, keep getting better, and sleep tight.